Hi everyone, very good morning. I hope you're able to hear me. Today we're going to be starting off with a new topic, which is CorelDRAW. Just before that, I believe one of y'all had requested me to share some notes regarding raster and vector and what I was explaining last time. So for that, I've just found a note reference. Just a second. Um, I'll share this with Rupal. Just give me a second. Let me share the screen and first quickly just explain through what we had done, and then I'll move to CorelDRAW. Just give me one sec. Yeah. So sharing screen. Just a sec. Um, yeah, you can see this. So basically, we've got vector art and raster art. So what is vector art? Vector art is composed of points like these. These are points, and which can be edited to get precise details. Versus when I say raster art is basically pixels, which is small dotted colors. So like these are raster art. But can I just quickly put others on mute? One sec. Okay, so I think that's better, right? So this is vector art and this is raster art. So vector art is basically cleaner when you speak of details. Okay, so crisp lines are there. Like for example, when can you use vector art? So when you're printing on banners, t-shirts, flyers, etc. So that is vector art. Versus when you say raster art, the image becomes blurry. Like here you can see the image is blurry, low resolution, suitable for screen or web viewing. So you should not print such kind of images. It says these images can be easily printable. Yes, why not? I can share the document with you, no problem. Okay, so yeah, that is what I had just written kind of little difference between vector and raster, and also found a little more. So yeah, okay, so here are some kind of examples. Okay, this is a vector art versus this is a raster art of the same image. Okay, difference is if you just zoom in a little bit, you will realize that a vector art doesn't pixelate versus a raster art will pixelate at a later time. Vector art is made of curves versus raster art is made of dots of information. Okay, so yeah, that is the major difference. File types. So vector art file types, you can see PDF, AI is Adobe Illustrator, CDR is CorelDRAW. Okay, raster images are JPG, PNG, PSD is Photoshop file, GIF. So these are all image styles. If you see star marks are those images which are raster as well as vector base. Okay, so that is the major difference. Correct. Okay, so that is what is there in file types to just kind of understand that. Okay, I hope this is clear. I'll share the file with you guys so that later so your vector arts are simple shapes and rasters are usually photos. Vector arts are minimal color, raster arts are jagged edges and zoomed in. Vector arts are enlarged without loss of quality. Raster arts are web images, usually 99% raster. So basically when you go on Google, download anything, most of the times 99% of the times the images that you get is raster image, right? Okay, so that's the basic difference between vector art and raster art. Okay, so I think this being clear, we can move about with CorelDRAW. I'll share this file with Rupal after, I believe, after the class so that you all can refer to that. Okay, now with that, when we start off with CorelDRAW, before moving on, I can tell you CorelDRAW is a vector-based software. Okay, that means what? It has more of curves and less of photos to be directly imported or using Google Chrome or ready images. Usually in Photoshop, what we do is I give you some resource files wherein you're taking a photo, downloading a photo, editing a photo, manipulating that. That is what we usually do in Photoshop. However, when you say about this one, if I'm speaking of your vector art, usually you are making your own photos. So that is the major difference in raster and vector. So we'll be coming to a vector based software which is CorelDRAW. So if you have it on your computer, you can go for CorelDRAW. And just one sec, I'll just quickly show it to you. Okay, just sharing my entire screen. Okay, this is a software I have. It's CorelDRAW X6 version. Okay, this one. Okay, if you have the same one, good. If not, you can just get it installed. So how do you get it installed? Basically, you have an option CorelDRAW S6 up here. Double click on this. Okay, and open the file. Yeah, so here we have it's opening. So this is a blank new application. I'll try to open from here. Whenever you open the file CorelDRAW app, this is the first thing that comes, new blank document. or new from template, depending on which one you want. Okay, so it's like pages, quick start, what's new. So if you just click here, you'll get to see what are the new elements which are added in your CorelDRAW. Learning tools. So if you want video tutorials, ready video tutorials to kind of understand CorelDRAW better, so here are some video tutorials, plus you have some video hints. Okay, so you can choose these also. These are all directly available in CorelDRAW. You don't have to do anything for that, right? Okay, then there's gallery. So it's showing you the most prominent artworks that people have created in CorelDRAW. Okay, usually used for t-shirt designing, or something like making bus advertisements. Other examples could be like making a logo. Okay, like these are making cartoons and all. So here are some examples. These are all artworks which are made in CorelDRAW. Okay, so you'll get to see the prominent artworks which are done in this software, right? And updates, if any updates are going to come up with CorelDRAW, it will show up on the update detail screen. Now for now, we'll just go to create document. You can, if you want to directly start off, you have a new from template option, wherein it will open the template dialog box, which will give you options which are there in, as a professional artist, if I want to use. So I have some ready templates, I can use that. If you already have made some artwork before, you will get to see that here in the open recent section, and with a preview up here, definitely. Okay, like suppose for example, I've already made one artwork, I'll be able to see that here in the list, and also see a preview here. As of now, even I have installed the software just yesterday, so I can just go about with new blank document for right now. Okay, so it'll ask me for the name of the document, so I can just be like, my first artwork. Okay, I can just be like my first artwork. Preset document, destination. So how do I want it? Do I require it like for CorelDRAW default? Do I require it for web? Do I require it for like RGB, CMYK, or how do I require it? So I can just be like, I might require it for default as of right now. But if I know I'm going to require it for a website, I'll choose web. And if I want it for a print for sure, I'll choose CMYK. If I want it for screen size for sure, I'll use RGB. So here are a few examples. So I'll just keep default right now. Okay, size, if you're aware of the size, what size you require, you can go and you can choose the size from your like A4, A3, A1, etc. Okay, if you don't know the size, okay, do you know about print sizes? I'm not sure. A4 is your normal full screen जो अपना sorry full scape paper का जो size होता है, that is A4 size. Double of A4 is A3 size. Okay, double of A3 is A2 size, and A1 and A0. A0 is like the biggest size. Even with A4, A4 is like a horizontal sheet, sorry, not even horizontal, vertical sheet of paper. If you take it from top and divide it into half, that becomes A5. Dividing that further into half will become A6. So as the number of A's keep increasing, the paper size will keep reducing. Okay, so you can choose which paper size you want. And again, when you enter into the digital media world and you are actually like into this department, I'm not sure how many of you all really intend to get into this, but if you do, then you can just basically choose it from this certain sizing, and you can go about with that, right? Okay, then there is letter, legal. So you can actually choose which model, which one you want. Just open this and click on OK as of right now. Give me a second. Yeah, so here we are. I hope everybody's reached here. Can you all just tell me done if you're reached here? Yes, okay. Most of you all have reached here, right? Great, great. Glad to see the softwares are arranged and most of you all are working with me as well. Okay, so let's go about with the ahead part, further part. So what I'll do is, what you can do with CorelDRAW. Let's first just kind of understand that. Okay, you can make a lot of shapes. Okay, you can set colors. You can use the tools for performing some kind of artwork. Okay, like what kind of artwork, ma'am, will you or will can be performed? So I'll start with the basic nodes. Okay, and then based on that, you can go about with doing as much as experimentation as possible. So as of right now, I'm starting with very very basic nodes called as, I'm using pen tool up here. How did you come here? So I selected this fly off. There was freehand. Okay, I choose, instead of freehand, I choose pen. Okay, this is a very very common tool which you use in any vector software, the pen tool. Okay, so you can use this pen tool to draw direct lines, or you can use them for making curves. Okay, so how will you do that? Suppose if I'm using the pen tool, click at one part and just draw zigzags. Okay, I'm just drawing simple zigzags. I'm not doing anything further. Okay, there. One more example, ma'am. Can you show us one more time how do you do this? I'll delete this. I'm opening again pen tool. Okay, select the pen tool from here. Select pen tool and just start drawing. So suppose um, just drawing through the pen tool, not doing anything much. Sorry, keep straight lines for now. Don't go about with the edges. Keep straight lines. I'm just pressing dot and moving. Don't drag anywhere. Just dot press and close. Right? Okay. So this is how basically I have made a artwork, basic small letter A on my pen tool. Okay. Now here you will find something called as a shape tool. I'll show that, Akshat. That's the reason why I'm coming to the shape tool. So here is something called as a shape tool. When you click on any one of the nodes, you will find options to manipulate these. Example, you have an option called convert to curve to show curves. Okay, example. So here you'll find two nodes, also called as anchor points, to drag and make curves. Okay, so here is an example of a curve being made. Okay, this I've made a curve. It was straight, I've made it a curve. How? Using the anchor nodes. Okay, ma'am, can you show us one more example for curve? So here, these are two straight lines. I want to make this a curve. So what I will do is I'll click on any one of the node. Actually, technically both the nodes, but I'll show you one by one. Okay, and move these anchor points. So suppose, for example, it's here, right? You'll find the anchor node here. Okay, when you say convert to curve, you'll find anchor nodes. You can see these arrows, right? Here's an arrow and here's another arrow. So you can choose any one of these to use the arrows. I cannot find the pen tool, but there's a freehand tool below the zoom tool. So you know what you have to do, Nandita, is click on the small fly out arrow, which you can see on the freehand tool. This was freehand initially. You have to click on the small fly out arrow and come to pen tool, Nandita. Okay, try to locate the pen tool from there. Right? Okay, so yeah, that's how you do it. And yes, I was moving to the nodes. I was showing you how exactly can you convert these nodes to curves, and you know what all other things you can do. So I was in the shape tool up here, and I said use convert to curves. Okay, and use these arrows to kind of modify your shape. Okay, also if you want to make any changes with the artwork, like for example, I want to make this like, say, like this or something. I want to make any changes with the curves, I can use it. Yeah, no problem, Nandita. uh Okay, so this is one kind of thing I have done. So like here also I can do the same thing. Okay, just go convert to curves. Okay, you find an option convert to curves up here. Where did it go? Just a sec. Make sure you are choosing the shape tool. Okay, click on the shape tool and be like convert to curves. Okay, you'll find variety of nodes here. You can see symmetrical node, cusp node, correct? So whichever kind of node you require, you can just choose on that. So I'll explain you what are the kind of nodes also, don't worry. Okay, we will be doing that. Like for example, here, you know, you can see that there is a node being made. Okay, if for those who are confused, ma'am, we've never done nodes before. So can you just kind of, you know, first explain us what is nodes and then we can go about with the detailing of this. So for that, you know, I've got an image ready for you guys. Here it is. I'm just opening the image to explain you what exactly I mean. What is a node? What is an edge? Okay, these are all vector terms, you can say. Okay, each dot that you have, okay, on your artwork is called as a node. Okay, like for example, up here, you can see there is a curve. This red line is a curve, right? Okay, which has a starting node and an ending node. Do you need me to zoom in? Okay, it'll blur if I zoom in more, but yeah, this is the starting node, this is the ending node, there is a node in the middle. Every turning point is a node. Okay, fine. Each node has something called as a control point. This control point can help you modify the shape of your image or shape of your curve. Okay, so if I move this a little this side, it's gonna, you know, affect my curve that way. So like suppose for example on CorelDRAW, ma'am, if you have to explain me this, how will you do that? So I'll just go to the pen tool. I'm drawing simple lines. Okay, fine. Now what I want to do is I want to be able to modify these lines which I have drawn. correct? Okay, this is just a small artwork that I've drawn, and I need to modify this. So I need to modify this. Come to the shape tool again. Come to the shape tool and click on this. So you'll be able to see here are nodes. Can you see these? This is the ending node. This is the starting node. Right? Okay, you can see the two triangles. It's like the starting node, ending node, and here you have like nodes in the middle. Right? Okay, whichever node you require, you click on that node, convert that to a curve. You will get control points. Correct? From these control points, you can modify the image curve however you want to modify it. Okay, so up here you have modified one. You want me to modify this a little bit here, so I can, like, kind of modify this. So I made a zigzag from this. Can you try to show it to us one more time, ma'am? So just click on any one other curve, okay, that you want. Click on convert to curves to get these lines. So now from these control points I can modify, if you want me to make this straight, you want me to make this like this, I can make it like this as well. Okay, and here is the last control point. So click here, convert to curve. So you'll find two more control points from here. Drag these. Okay, so it's just like this, and just make this a little bit so like this, right? Okay, so this is how you can convert these two different points, which makes it easy for a person. So like, instead of just drawing like zigzag lines, I've actually made an artwork out of that. Okay, now these artworks can actually be used to duplicate them and make further modifications on them if you want to. They're always available to try out. And for example, I can just copy paste this and duplicate it. Like for example, Control C, Control V to make a copy of the same curve. And then you find a rotate option on the top. You can just rotate this to say 60 degrees from here to get another artwork, right? You just kind of duplicated the same thing. Okay, you can just make it, suppose you want me to make it here. Okay, and if you want to rotate it, you can just, you have sizes also, like if you want to reduce the size, increase the size, you have options. Like for example, here I've reduced the same size of the same and here I'm increasing the size. So this is also available. Okay, apart of this, you can draw ready shapes. If you don't want to do so much mehnat, you want to draw ready shapes. So here we have some rectangle tools, circle tools. So I'll just take a rectangle up here, basic rectangle drawn. Choose a color from the right hand side. Just click on any one color, and that color will be applied on your shape. Okay, then what you can do is you can modify these nodes. Okay, either directly increase, decrease the size if you want to. Just 1 second. Yeah, so here it is. You can modify these nodes from here if you want to make like a slightly rounded rectangle. I just clicked on the shape tool again and moved the curves. One more time, ma'am, can you show? This was the usual rectangle which we had. This is the normal rectangle. Up here I'm changing this to rounded rectangle. How? So I clicked on the shape tool. Click on the shape tool and you'll find 4 nodes. From these nodes, just click on any one of the nodes, okay, and try to reduce the size. See, can you see this? It's applying on all the 4 nodes together. So I'm making this a rounded rectangle. Now this is a rounded rectangle. Check. Correct? Okay. But ma'am, what if I don't want to make this so rounded? So I have an option to go back to usual. So this is usual, right? Slightly rounded rectangle. Okay. Question. I want only one of those to get curved, not all 4 of them. So can you do something for that? So yeah, you have an option. If you just press control button selected, control button on hold, and just then drag, only one of them is getting rounded. Check. The other 3 are as it is, only one getting rounded. If you want just any one, you can use this option. One more time, ma'am, can you show? So suppose, for example, I made this one rounded, right? Now I want a shape where this one has to be rounded. So I'll again go to my shape node and press control button and then drag. So only one to get rounded. So this is like only one getting rounded. This is one shape, right? Okay. Now suppose if I was to kind of rotate this, I could rotate this to like say 30 degrees. Okay, so this will be like one shape. Okay, I also want the same copy of this, but I wanted like a little below, like I want to make a kind of windmill. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take the center. This is my center. I'm moving the center to the corner up here. Okay, or to the center, wherever you want to move it. I'm moving it, moving the center to one of the corners up here. Okay, then copy pasting it, control C, control V, and then here is a rotate option to rotate one more time. Okay, again control C, control V, rotate one more time. Try to keep it as uniform as possible, it would be great. Okay, control C, control V, duplicate and rotate. Okay, control C, control V, duplicate and rotate, copy paste. You can just make one leaf also, and you can make copies of that using this. This is majorly used in that case. Okay, copy paste, rotate, correct, copy paste, rotate up here. Now these are looking a little different. That's because the shadow is present. If the shadow wouldn't have been present, it would have looked like a nice artwork. You can just, I've not made it uniform as of right now. I'm just focusing on showing you what the tool does. Just a second. Yeah, okay, so here are I'm kind of making a flower out of the shapes. Now you will feel like, ma'am, it's looking very weird. That's because of the stroke. Remove the stroke up here. You don't require the stroke, so just select all the rectangles. Okay, uh, there. Okay, you'll find this stroke option up here. You can see the stroke color and the outline of the stroke. Whichever color you require, you can update that color. Suppose I require pink, I'll be like, okay. So you can see this is pink. Now what has happened is pink outline on pink is not visible, so this become one shape. You can always reduce the size of the shape. Now this is like your own creative shape. Can I repeat the step? Getting the main point. Ishika, getting the main point was very simple. You just have to click on the shape tool and just click on any one of the shapes to get these points. Right? Okay, once you've selected or created any one shape, you can just copy paste it to create one more. Yeah, you can create one more, and here it is. You can reduce the size also up here, just reducing the size, and change the color if you don't like the color to some different color. So you can see a different color. Now definitely you'll have to also change the color of the outline. So go up here. Okay, sorry, I need to make sure that one is selected. Just give me a second. Regarding color fill, is there a shading option or a color variation possible? Yes, why not, Rushad? There is. Okay, again, double click on any one of these to get the color options. So here there are, this is a palette. You have other options also like mixtures and models. You can choose from here which kind of shading or which kind of color option do you want. Okay, Disha, shape tool, just click on any one, and in the shape tool you will find options. While you rotate the image, right, you'll be able to see it. Okay, I can show you basic text also. Like for example, either go to artistic brush if you just like curves right now, you want to make more of curves. So what you can do is, instead of pen tool, try some different tools for artwork. Like for example, there's artistic media. I'll show you what this does. Okay, I'm moving to the next tool, artistic media. Okay, how do you do this is, basically I have to change the style. One second, I'm on sprayer mode. I should be on calligraphy mode again. So calligraphy will basically create a calligraphic artwork as to what I want to do. So suppose I'm just, this is like one kind of image which I have created through calligraphy pen. Okay, you can go about with creating whichever kind of image you want. Like, ma'am, can you show us one more example for this? So artistic media, taking the normal brush for artistic media, you can choose which kind of brush you want. Here you'll find options like you've got brush, you got preset, correct? Okay, like in preset, what happens is, suppose if I'm taking and drawing something, so can you see this? It will actually show you, like, a depth mode. Okay, so what you are doing is, you will just draw a normal shape, but artistic media will help you to convert it to a good shape. Okay, like for example, can you show us one more example? Again, moving to artistic media. Okay, to the preset shape only, normal. I'm not changing anything. This is the normal kind of brush. Okay, and just draw something. This is what I've drawn. So this is how I got it. So usually, for logo making and all, they actually use a normal image and then they try to do something with that. Like in my case, I made this. Now I can just change the color and all if you want to. Okay, and this will become one. Correct. Okay, again with the shape tool, I can go and make any modification as possible. So if I feel like, this is not doing good, or I want to modify something, so here you always have an option to, kind of make this like a little up, or, do something with this. So this is always available. Like, you can, understanding, right? Control points and all to make it little more better. Correct. Okay, Now, this is for artistic media, ma'am. What else can be done with this is, suppose, for example, if I'm just drawing a normal line, so you can see in my color stroke, it's looking like this. But up here, you have options to change your color strokes. So what I'll do is I'll just change my color stroke to a thicker one. So you can see this is how the artwork is looking. Similarly, here, if you want to make it something like this. So suppose this is useful when you know you want to make waves or something like that. You can just go on and on. Correct. Okay, I can reduce the stroke style. Suppose, for example, if I was making like a tree branches or something like that, so I could just draw maybe, this is one branch, and through this branch, if I want to make like a little smaller branch, this is a thicker branch, right? Okay, now I'll do one thing. I'll reduce the size to say 5 millimeter, and I'll draw smaller branches out of that. Okay, so artwork and all, CorelDRAW definitely doesn't match any other software. You can actually go about with making tons of artworks, and you don't need to be precise. If you observe, I'm not being very symmetrical with my artwork. You don't have to be symmetrical. This is artwork. Okay, so try to be as artistic as possible. Again, these brushes will do the remaining part for you, so you don't have to do much. Okay, so yeah, from here, if I want to get even more smaller brushes, I change the size to say 2.5. So I'll get even more smaller edges. So maybe here, right, just filling up the blanks. Yes, Riddhi, both of them are vector, but the way the tools are, the appearance, and a lot of things are different. CorelDRAW is a software which people prefer to use usually in case of a smaller artwork, versus Adobe Illustrator is usually used to make t-shirt designs and things like that, like more complex designs. And definitely, company standards, people prefer to use Adobe Illustrator over CorelDRAW, because CorelDRAW is like, just it's not that professionally like, the number of tools in Adobe Illustrator is much more compared to CorelDRAW. Even the file formats in which it gets exported in CorelDRAW, there are more options, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. So I think we got two artworks up here. Ma'am, can you show something else with artistic media? So what I can do is I can show you. I've shown you a normal preset. I can show you brushes like these. So if you observe right now, I've got a dotted brushes line. Okay, that is because here it was selected as dotted brushes. I could select like circles and I'll get circle kind of artwork. Okay, jagged brush effect. So if I want like a jagged brush effect, okay, you should increase the size to say 20, and you can see this effect. Okay, suppose more effects if you want to set. I'm setting more effects. I can change the colors also from here. So I'll not do that over and over again, but yeah, the idea is you can change the colors and styles. So just make sure the outline color is changed, right? Okay, as of right now, I'm not doing that because it's fill color and stroke color, so I don't want to mess on with that part. I'll come to that in the next lecture. But yeah, right now we're just looking at, see, this is another kind of effect. How did I do it? I just went here, I changed the style to this one, right? Okay, one more time, ma'am, can you show us? Just use the brush tool and draw artistic effects. Okay, this is for art. You also have calligraphy objects. Like for example, you're in calligraphy, you'll be able to see more styles. Okay, so yeah, is it that CorelDRAW is only used for calligraphy? No, you're just trying to make something, artistic out of it. But you can choose any style. It's the style does not really matter. Okay, fine. So shown you some samples up here. Can we do something else in CorelDRAW? So here you got a place of artwork. I'm just using this down area. Okay, and what I'll do is, instead of this, I'll use a sprayer. Okay, you have an option for a sprayer. Have a look. Here is a sprayer tool. Okay, choose what kind of a spray do you want. So you got food style, for footprint style. Okay, suppose for example, I want something to do with say footprints. You got variety of footprint styles. Okay, I just selected any one of them. These are ready artworks. So if you want to like kind of do something with this, you can just select any one of them, and you can share that. Okay, I think there's too much on my artwork. Just give me a second. Mm, yeah. Okay, now try to get footprints, right? Okay, can we try something else, ma'am? we have brush strokes also, like stroke wise, if you want to go about like this. Okay, you will find ready strokes. Okay, something else, ma'am. So say food, fruits, fruits here, correct? Okay, then maybe these chocolate effect if you want to kind of make some kind of artwork wherein you are inviting kids for something and you got like sweets around, want to make a border or something like that. Strawberries, correct? Okay, so these are all again a part of artistic media. And what else is there? So yeah, these are for food items. You can choose and you can play around with that. Okay, then footprint, music, these are all ready templates. Okay, so you can see that it's getting modified again. You can reduce and increase the size like usual CorelDRAW artworks wherever you want to do it. Okay, you feel like I want to increase the size or reduce the size, rotate something, you can do all of that. That is allowed, right? Okay, so yeah, these are few ones, and this is again from artistic media itself I'm doing. Okay, this is music tool. You have like stars and all also if you want to. Here are some stars. I don't know whether it's visible. I should change the color. uh, Yellow. Now it's visible, correct? Okay, so yes, you can go about with this and set through, try out a lot of these things. Randomly you want it, sequentially you want it, by direction, how much space you want between the two of them. Try to modify these properties. This is a property pane. Try out various tools which are available up here. Okay, I was just showing you artistic media and shape tool. I've not done anything further, only artistic media, shape tool. There are a lot more tools that I have to do, smart fill, rectangle and all of that. So I'll come to each of these. Okay, but just a basic overview of how CorelDRAW works. I wanted to show you some sample tools. So yeah, here is another one. So I've just created one more basic calligraphy tool. Okay, again you will find nodes up here. Each of these tools, whatever you're doing, you have nodes, edges, and midpoints. Ma'am, can you just explain us these three one more time? What is nodes, edges, and midpoints? These are nodes. These center points are nodes. Okay, then the line that joins two nodes is called as edge, and the center point of these two nodes, any two nodes, ka center point is called as midpoint. Okay, so you will be able to locate each of them, like this is a node. Okay, this is a midpoint, and these are edges. Each node will give you control points from where you can modify the node. Okay, okay. Usually used in case of making something, like for example, I just want to kind of peek around with this. Okay, maybe bring it here. This is possible. I can also change the control point to make it look little more, like this. So it depends on how you want to place your image or how you want to modify your artwork. So this is all possible only in case of vector art. It's not possible in case of raster art, because in raster art what happens is you are very very limited to the ready image. You need to just manipulate or modify that image. But in case of vector art, you're actually drawing things. Okay, so that is one of the things. Now to get your hand a little more clearer with your vector art, what you should do is I would recommend you to take any one image or any one logo and try to replicate that, maybe trace it out on your uh, vector art. Okay, like for example, open a pen tool, open a image, say for example your favorite cartoon character or your favorite like for example say Pikachu or Doraemon. Open a photo of that, use pen tool to trace out the image. So if you trace it out, you'll be able to get the nerves now what do you call it, curves right. You'll be able to get your nodes correctly placed. So you learn a lot in vector art by tracing. So first you should try to trace any image. To take up any one image, any vector art image you like, take a simple vector art, not necessary to take a complex one also, and just try to replicate that on your CorelDRAW. Okay, so that is one of the ways you can learn how to go about with your shapes and curves and all of that. Okay, so yeah, last 5 minutes. Any doubts? Anyone wants me to kind of clarify something more or anything like that? Everything is clear as such. Okay, all clear from Jeet and Anugrah. Other people? All right. See, I was just trying to show you a little basic of artworks. People who are doing it with me maybe can go about with it. All right, Upal. Hmm. Okay, you need me to show the shape node again. Shape node RS is, suppose for example, if this is, so I'm on the shape node right now. Click on any one of the nodes that you created. Your shape node will go about with showing you the nodes and the way that shape is created. Okay, that is one doubt of shape node. Second is you can convert it into a curve and modify it. Suppose for example, now this is my node. Your network is unstable, Arsha, sure, but just let me solve RS dot first. Okay, this is if I want to modify my node. Okay, so anywhere you feel like you want to modify the curves or modify the node, modify the position, you can simply use your shape tool and you can modify. Suppose for example, I need this, suppose here. Okay, so I'm modifying the shape of the curve using the shape tool. Just move the node or else convert it into a curve and modify the curve. Right, that's what RF the shape node does. Now you're saying where to get the food pictures from. Go to artistic media, Arsha, and from here go to sprayer. Okay, change the style. Suppose I want plants, so select plants, suppose, and here are some types, so you can choose which kind you want and just simply draw. Arsha, did you get it? This is for plants. You can do the same thing for food. Where is the eraser tool? You have an eraser tool also. Just a second. Give me a sec. You will have to actually search from this section. Yeah, you'll find a lot of flyout tools which are available. One sec. Click on the small triangles to find it. See, check. I'm sure it's available here only. I just misplaced it because the what do you call it, interface has changed very recently. So yeah, it's been a while that I've done CorelDRAW on the latest X6 version. Okay, or else you know what you want to do. You want to erase, right, Ishika? Simple. Choose the select tool. Choose what you want to erase. Backspace to delete it. Okay, select backspace or delete button works. Okay, so you don't really require an eraser tool. Suppose I want to remove this, go delete. Okay, Ishika. So that's like the simplest way out. There, delete. You don't require to search for the delete tool. Yeah. Yeah, this is how I delete whenever I want to delete something. Okay, so that's it for today's class. See you all in the next week on Tuesday. Control Z works. Yes, Karan. Yeah. So we stop here. See you all next class. Bye bye.